Hello, Lucy here. I just wanted to take a moment to send a huge shout out to all of you tuning in from around the globe. We have listeners in the UK, Germany, Canada, the USA, Morocco, Spain, France, Singapore, India, Argentina, Australia. I mean, it's unbelievable, and I cannot thank you enough for all of your support with the show. Creativity knows no borders, and together we are building a community that celebrates inspiration in all of its forms. So, wherever you are, continue to take that road less travelled, and let's keep exploring this wilderness of creativity together. Thanks for listening. Stay wild. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Wilderness of Creativity. I'm your host Lucy, and today I'm delighted to welcome to the podcast Amy Mandel. Amy is a dedicated entrepreneur and a single mum to her son Tyler. Amy wears many hats. She's the founder of A&T Office Admin Solutions, where she helps businesses streamline their operations and reclaim valuable time. She's also the co-owner of A Tinchy Bit of Sparkle, a business that she runs with Tyler that's all about spreading positivity through crystals and wellness products. In this episode, we explore Amy's approach to setting intentions and harnessing that positivity, as well as how she skillfully navigates the challenges of chronic illness while parenting. We discuss her roles as a school governor and as a business student, as well as including her recent contribution to Mandy Nicholson's book, Beyond the Ordinary. Amy dreams big, yet remains grounded, and her passion for helping others is rooted in her own experiences with neurodivergence, which makes her a compassionate advocate for those on similar journeys. Right, let's get to the episode.
Through COVID, he wanted to share some love and positivity. We were shielding, I'm clinically vulnerable, and he came up with the concept of positive affirmation crystal jars. And off he went and started kind of designing and creating. And then very much we worked together on them. And it's been really fun for the mum and son bonding time. Obviously, everything that we do isn't revolved around work or anything like that. But the idea essentially is once he turns 16 or 18, whenever he chooses to leave school, the business will be big enough for him to walk into and take over, and then I can focus on my admin business and still be doing the admin for him, obviously, but he will take the reins of it. But he very much picks out from suppliers what crystals we have. Whenever we do events, he will pick what crystals he wants to take, and he loves it.
So what was actually in the jars then?
The jars that we made essentially had affirmations on them. So he came up with, I'm calm and relaxed, and I live a stress-free life, which when we did the research into them, amethyst and either heather or lavender worked best to promote that affirmation. We've got I am awesome and I am worthy of being loved, which are very much rose quartz jars. So they have rose quartz and rose petals in them. We've got I can achieve great things. And then we've got I'm strong and courageous and I'm fearless that have tiger's eye and blackberry leaves, which again, everything that's there kind of digs deep. The crystals have the properties to really enforce that affirmation. And obviously you'll know the idea with affirmations, the more you see and hear them, the more likely it is to come true. So when they originally started, the idea was, we were stuck on our own. We had 8 months where we had no contact from the outside world. Even takeaway drivers were leaving stuff on the doorstep and going. We couldn't see them or talk to them. So anyone that was in our position who wanted or might have needed to feel that little bit of love that they've been thought about, they could order the jars and get sent out, and we'd put a little positive message in as well, like your loved ones thinking of you, and personalise it in that way. So yeah, it worked really well. And then it's just expanded from there.
You know, I think for young people to have that aspiration for themselves, you know, and to really focus on something that is positive, you know, that takes them out of everyday life, I think is so important, isn't it?
I think because of my chronic illnesses, Tyler's been brought up very differently to what I'd say the normal child. I fell poorly when he just turned 1. So at one point, I couldn't even pick him up to comfort him because my hands had swollen up. And, I think the whole experience, I've raised him very differently to what I thought I would. But equally, I was saying to someone earlier, he's going to make the perfect husband one day. Whoever it is that he chooses to get with, because he does the washing, he cleans. Like, there's a lot of blokes out there that can't use a washing machine. And he's the primary person that does the washing for us both. I mean, it is only us two and cats. I am a bit of a crazy cat lady. So there's us and 14 cats at the minute.
Wow. I was expecting you to say at least like 3 or 4, but wow, 14, that's...
No, it started out with 3 when COVID hit.
Yeah.
We have just built a catio, so they have got outside space and safe and everything else.
Did you just say a catio?
Yes. So we've converted our patio into a catio.
That's absolutely brilliant.
So they're all very looked after and very much loved. We're in a 3-bedroomed house as well with 2 of us. So it's not like there's not room. My mum said the other day, at least you don't collect children. I'm like, well, yeah, because it could equally go that way.
You are so busy, Amy. Like, you've got your hand in most things. You've
Yes.
got the business with your son, but then you've also got the A&T admin office solutions. And you've just written a chapter for Beyond the Ordinary, which is a book that's coming out in October, which is just so exciting. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I know Mandy through NeuroBoost, which is a community for people who are neurodivergent, and she's one of the mentors. So I've been working with the founder of NeuroBoost, who put me in touch with Mandy. And yeah, it was a case of how Mandy was telling her story and kind of wanting to get across different aspects of being neurodivergent. I didn't realise that I had ADHD until the COVID era, when TikTok got big, and all the awareness videos started coming out. And I remember laying there one night doing the doom scrolling like you do, and Tyler kind of went, "That's literally as if it's been written for you. You do everything on that list." And I'd never considered it. I mean, I'm on the waiting list for a diagnosis, but I've been implementing different things to help me anyway. And yeah, how Mandy had said that she had the 30 chapters that she's written, and it's all about different aspects of her life and how being neurodivergent has affected her and how she does things. And she was wanting stories from real life women who were in the same boat. So it sounded really interesting. I think it's pushed me out of my comfort zone in a way, because I struggle, as much as I love doing admin, I struggle with the written side of things. It's been a trigger from early childhood in school. So I've really had to dig deep, but I think it's helped me a lot to understand what's been going on.
Can you just tell me a little bit about NeuroBoost? Because I don't know what that is.
The NeuroBoost, it's on Facebook. We've got a website, and basically we've got a group of mentors which are from different fields within business, and we essentially help neurodivergent business owners. So it might be that someone's wanting help with getting access to work funding. A lot of people don't know about access to work. Our mentors will sit and work with them, obviously. I'm one of the mentors for NeuroBoost, but they're also a client of mine for the admin side. So it is very much Rachel Beattie that is the founder and the voice. But I'm very passionate about what she does. And like you raised, I like my fingers in all the pies. I think when you're neurodivergent, your brain constantly has to have something to fixate on, and it doesn't stop. I can say I need to go to bed, and even in my dreams, I'll be thinking about what's next and where am I going, and there'll be ideas popping everywhere. So I think for me, keeping busy keeps me going. It gives me that focus rather than I'm spending the day in bed. I think it's also helped, obviously, being self employed and having chronic illness. I can work my time around me. So after this call, because I've spent the afternoon literally unable to keep my eyes open, I'll be doing work after this call just because I can. I'm not fixed to the 9 till 5. And that's what I really, really struggled with in work, and I could never understand why. But it'd get to 2 o'clock and chronic fatigue would hit. And just doing the little tweaks and learning how to adapt, I think, has helped me massively. And it's that reframing to a positive.
It's exhausting masking as well, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
masking is a word that's sort of springing up,
Which I didn't even know what that
no.
was.
Well, I mean, I work in education, and it's something that we are talking a lot more of now. This idea of children who are neurodivergent masking, and that girls are particularly very good at masking ADHD and autism.
I was going to say, I thought when I was going through the awareness videos and things, I honestly thought that I was more on the ADHD line. And now I'm doing more research and I'm thinking it could be potentially both. Um, I struggle having conversations with people. I'll try and go to networking. And I think it took me 8 months to go to my first networking in person. And I'd go drop Tyler at school and be like, right, no, I'm off home. And then I'd go that little step further and still be like, I can't physically go in. I need someone with me. And it's that idea of, I don't know, it's like the constant reassurance that you need.
Yeah, it's the unknown, and you kind of having to role play the conversations that you're going to have with people.
The amount of conversations I have in my head before having them, and then I get angry if they don't follow the script.
You weren't supposed to say that.
That isn't how that conversation went down. What are you doing?
Life admin is boring. I know that when you have a business, you have to do it. So, how do you help your clients manage that and make it more fun and exciting?
A&T Office Admin Solutions was created originally in 2018. I was getting made redundant, which was a panic. As a single mother with illnesses, I'd worked at that company for 10 years. So I didn't know how I was going to fit in elsewhere. And one of the managers that was going through the redundancy with me we'd had some meetings and she'd go for it yourself. Like, you're fully capable of doing it. So originally it was just Office Admin Solutions. And then my mum got in my head and she's like, you're a single mum. You need to have employment. Self-employment doesn't pay the bills. It's going to take a long time to get started. And imposter syndrome fully hit and took over. And I think I did over 30 interviews in a 2-week period and got offered one job. Out of all those, I heard back from... I was hit with discrimination. I was told that I wouldn't be able to walk up the stairs, so why have I even applied for the job? Because I walked in with a stick. I was basically looked at like, you're going to hand in sick notes all the time because there's chronic illness there. How are you going to manage the role? And the panic and the kind of wanting to people please, but be fully exhausted in engaging in so many people in such a short space of time threw me. So I took the job that I'd been offered. It jumped from me doing the 24 hours at my old job to 40 hours, and then COVID hit. So not only was I expected to do the 40 hours, I was expected to homeschool. I was expected to keep the house running and do everything, and there wasn't enough hours in the day physically to do it all. So November 2021, I think, maybe 2020, I handed in my sick note. I faced disciplinaries and all sorts, and Tyler had gone back to school and literally was like, Mum, I don't want you to go back to work. I've never had you picking me up from school because I've always had a job. So he's always had a minimum of 3 days in nursery from being 6 months old. And he just looked at me and was like, No, I really like you being at home. And that was it. I'll do anything I can to stay at home. Not a problem. I really struggled with the anxiety side of going back into the office, which is where the sick note came from. And I put my full focus into developing the business that I wanted it to be. When I do my business fundamentals, when starting a business, you have to check Companies House because dream big, right? If you don't dream big, it's pointless. So whenever I'm talking clients through setting up a business, check Companies House for the name. Because if you're at a point where you want to go limited and your company name's already taken, you have to go through a rebrand process, and that's difficult. And Office Admin Solutions had already been taken. So Amy and Tyler was where A&T came from. And it fit well because when you type in the website, it simply, you can't put the and sign in, so it's just at Office Admin Solutions, which kind of flows anyway. So when I'm working with clients, I try and do either a last minute call at the end of the week to prepare for the following week, or we'll have a call Monday morning. Obviously, I'm conscious of there's only so many hours in Monday that you can fit calls in to do what I like to do. And we'll work through what they want to achieve, and then look at the list. What do you really, really need to achieve? Pick three. And we'll make it into like a competition of you can get a reward if you get X, Y, and Z done, kind of thing, to keep yourself motivated. I mean, I've done it all my life. When the last job that I was at, there were reports that needed to be run, and I'd sit and I'd not go to the toilet because my reward was going for a wee and having a cig. And I wouldn't be able to do that until that report was finished, and I'd be glued to the computer. Literally, I'd work through lunch and everything until that was done so I could then have my reward. And I found that really worked. Like just the idea of a treat, even if it is as simple as a wee and a cig. And I don't smoke no more. But, something silly um, really makes that difference. I've also found time blocking to be really useful, especially if you're regularly doing a lot. So because I've got the two businesses, I'm also vice chair of governors at school and chair of the PTA and a few other things in the mix. I have different coloured pens and block out different times, but it's allocated the same each week. So, for example, Tuesdays are my uni days. I'm also finishing my degree through Open Uni.
What is going on here, Amy? You're literally superwoman.
I get mum guilt an awful lot because of the amount that Tyler does.
I know, but Amy, this is the thing. You're such. Tyler will be looking at you and thinking, "Well, look at what Mum's doing."
He's so understanding. Like, he's the first kid to go pick someone up when they fall.
Aww.
Because I've done it so many times.
I'm fascinated by what your degree's in. What's your degree?
So originally it was just going to be a business management degree. The idea was, I mean, This started 15 years ago. I started the degree before I had my son. It's taken a while because of everything that's been thrown into the mix. I started it, then I got pregnant and baby brain kicked. Then I went back to it and got poorly, so I was in and out of hospital, and the illnesses have never gone away. So I've gradually had to bring it back. But I think I've got until November next year to actually complete everything. So I've only got one module or two modules left to complete. But originally, the idea was to do the degree and then develop a business. And obviously, as things have changed, we now have two businesses. So, like, I've gone back and probably done a couple of extra modules that weren't needed, but to tailor it to like marketing. So, I've just qualified as a coach. So, that's getting added in to the office admin solutions side. But also, the life coaching element can be part of a Tinchy bit because it separates the two aspects.
And you have your Facebook groups as well, don't you? So if people want to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
So they can find me on Facebook. Obviously, my name is at the bottom. And to be fair, I'm the only Amy Mandel on Facebook, spelt like that. So that's really easy to find me. So it's a silent J. It's Yugoslavian, Slovenian. My granddad was from Slovenia. But yeah, we've got a Tinchy Bit of Sparkle Facebook group, and we've also got an A&T Office Admin Solutions Facebook page and group. In the Tinchy Bit of Sparkle Facebook group, we do full moon rituals free. So it's a good time to come and release anything that's holding you back, set those intentions for the following month and get manifesting. But I do those live in the group, so you can join along and kind of comment away if you want to, or hide in the background. Either's totally fine. Tyler sits next to me and is writing away. We set fire to everything that we're getting rid of because it's symbolic, and why not?
You said earlier, dream big.
Always dream big, definitely.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Wilderness of Creativity this week. I really hope that you've taken something from Amy's story, from her insights and experience. I wanted to leave you with some reflection prompts to consider as you move forward with the rest of your day or week. So the first reflection prompt is all around intention setting. So what intentions can you set this week to guide your daily actions? The second reflection prompt is about balance. So in what ways do you find balance between your personal and professional responsibilities? The third reflection prompt is about streamlining your life. What essential processes can you simplify to make more space for creativity and joy? Remember that every step taken with intention fosters growth both in your work and in your professional life. Join us next week as we explore another aspect of creative entrepreneurship that could change the way that you see setbacks and redefine your path to success. You won't want to miss it. Until then, stay wild.